Hi everyone, welcome to a new episode of this Heart to Heart Talks. I'm Paulinha and I'm very happy to be here with you. And yeah, it feels so beautiful, all these interviews, and we are receiving a lot of love, a lot of messages for you. So thank you so much for opening your heart and for being here with us, like in this heart-to-heart talks. Yeah, it feels so good to me to really share some of the stories from our mighty companions here from the Living Miracles. And as you know, I'm here again with another deep dive. But my guest today is in Mexico. So we're gonna call her now. Please, Gabrielle. Hi, Francis.
Hi, Paulinha.
Yeah, thank you so much for accepting this invitation to be here with us. Yeah, it feels so good to share some of your stories with our friends here. It's really good.
Yeah, I'm so happy and I feel so honored to be invited to share, especially with the Brazilian friends, because I know, you have been extending a lot of the message, and there's just a group of following and people really want to dive deeper. So it is such a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. And it's beautiful to share with them your stories, because from most of our friends in Brazil, this topics of community or how to really live in miracles, devote the life for God, for the teachings of the Course. It's like kind of new. So it feels very helpful to share with them like how you live, how like the steps you take to to really living these deep teachings. So maybe we can start like sharing the beginning. How was your calling? How you found the Course? How was it for you?
Yeah. It was quite surprising. Everything was very it wasn't because I was searching for anything, because I was brought up as an atheist, so I actually didn't really know anything about Jesus or about even spirituality. I was quite involved with business and success and just want to live a very fulfilling life. And at some point I also moved from China to Australia, and I got married, and then just started to feel like everything I was seeking in my whole life, I have achieved or very close to achieve all the goals, financial goals, relationship goals, career goals, and like status, everything. But I felt so unfulfilled. I felt so unhappy. And I think also at the time, my relationship was really breaking apart. So I remember probably at the beginning, my first opening was I asked myself this question: what is still missing in my life? Because I've been looking all my life for happiness and for love, and I thought I have achieved all of this, but I was so far away. So I asked myself, what is still missing in my life? And I couldn't find anything in my mind. So I dropped the question, actually. But clearly that opening, that question, without being able to find an answer, opened something for me. Because very soon after that, I was in the middle of my day, I went for a walk at lunch break, and I was walking in a park, and this question came up again. I thought, being here in Australia, everything is so available to me, but I'm not happy. So is this really the answer? Should I move back to China, move to America, move some other country? And I was just asking myself that question. And that day, that moment, I actually heard a very loud voice come from above me, said, "Stay. And there is going to be something pretty big happening to you. You need to wait here." And it was so clear to me. That's an answer to my question. I didn't even feel it was weird. I didn't feel, who is this person talking to me? It was so loud and so confident from the sky. And so I just looked up and I said, okay, I will stay. So that was like a very out of pattern experience for me. But I thought, okay, there is something that is gonna answer me. And I felt really excited. So I thought, I didn't even know what I was waiting. But I thought, okay, if I'm here waiting for something that is very big, then I'm gonna keep my eyes out and I keep all my attention out to ask. So very soon after that, I actually found the course. And the course, or I can say the course found me from a bookstore. So when I read the course, I really felt this is something I want to give my life to. I immediately have that kind of feeling. So I don't know, that's probably the very, very beginning how I found the course.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, so important to share this, because many people I feel like could resonate with that, wasn't really in a spirit, like a spiritual searching, and maybe probably like an atheist, or consider themselves too much intellectual, and even though if there is this little openness, it's enough to hope to the light came and show it. And there is one story that it always inspires me, that your stories when you met David and you ask Jason, maybe I can share this one, because it really helps me with my path. Whoa, this is, there's a lot of teachings in this parable. So probably was a little bit after this episode, right?
Yeah, it was actually, I met David 5 years after this, and that what I was told to wait for was actually David. And so for 5 years after I heard that voice, I was constantly, my life just changed very, very quickly in different aspects. And every time when something happens, I ask, is this what it is? Even when the course came, is this what I'm waiting for? The answer was always no. And it was very surprising because I never get a yes answer for 5 years. And then I met David, and probably that I assume what you're saying is how I had the first one-on-one talk with David, because I was asking, David has a 20-minute one-on-one with the participants of the retreat. And I was participating, so I booked a one-on-one, and I was so emotional, and I basically cried for 18 minutes out of the 20 minutes, and I just couldn't stop crying, and I felt I couldn't stop myself, completely losing control. So finally, I just said, "Oh my God, I have such a long list of questions, but now I only have 2 minutes, and if I have to ask one question, it would be, how can I truly know I'm not this body? Because all my pain is associated with me being this body, even sickness and death and all of that. So I said, how do I know with experience that this is true? And he said, if I really want to know, I would give my life to find out. Mm. That was his answer. It wasn't a quick formula to say, well, you do 1, 2, 3. It was like basically pointing me to, do you want to commit the rest of your life to find out about this?
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it was very surprising. I mean, at the time, I didn't quite like the answer because I thought I wanted to be quick. I didn't really have the patience to sit with a question for life. I thought, well, can't you just tell me what is the path to get there? But when he said that, it was very surprising. But now looking back, I truly feel that was the Spirit pointing me to, this pathway needs so much devotion and commitment. And that's really what the Spirit is calling. You will find it. And you don't have to find it at the end of your life. You will find it in this moment. But it does mean you need to give all you have and you need to be patient.
Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for reminding me, because it's really deep when we say yes to this. Like, I don't know how we'll look in the form. I don't know what it will take, but yes, like I do want to to commit with this. I do want to give my life to this.
Mm.
Yeah. And how was it for you? I mean, the beginning, like to start this commitment. I remember that other story you shared when you were at the grocery with Jason.
Yeah.
And you asked what would it take.
Yeah, that was right after our retreat, and I was hosting David and Jason and some others in my house. So I felt like I have them, like I can talk to them. So I went to grocery shopping with Jason, and I said, what does it take, really? And he said, trust. And I thought, what should I trust? Can I actually just trust you, trust David? Because I feel I can trust David. And I don't really have a lot of why. It's just a feeling. And I said, is that enough if I just start there? And he said, yeah, sure. And that's really how I started. And I can tell you, I didn't really think, I didn't know what it means to give my life over. I definitely didn't think I would be living in a monastery for the rest of my life. No way. I thought I come for 3 months. That would be so profound. That's what I was looking for. I wanted to open my heart, and I wanted to heal this deep unworthiness, fear, everything that I think myself to be. So it was just, I thought I'll give myself 3 months. That's what I had, to be able to live in the United States for only 3 months. So that's all I knew. I come for 3 months, and that was it. No long-term commitment. And I think if Spirit told me that you're going to be here for the rest of your life, I would freak out. I wouldn't be able to oh, great. So the Spirit was very, very, very gentle. Very, very gentle. And I came with, not because I really feel I had to do that. It's more like it was such a strong calling and inspiration like so much wanted to heal and really want to undo a lot of the patterns. So at the time, it was like, I have to come. And I came for 3 months, and afterwards, I was ready to go home. So I did a few more retreats outside of the United States, because David, after the 3 months, he started to travel to other countries. So I kind of followed him to different retreats in Sweden and Spain. But after that, I thought, okay, then I need to go back home. I still have a lot of things tied up with my life in Australia. So I went back home, and first I was just there, just settle and not having any plans. And I thought, I don't know what's the next step. So I was there for about 3 months and just not knowing what's going to happen. And that's where I woke up from a dream. And one morning, and in the dream, I was making a documentary movie about the monastery. Mm-hmm. That's where I woke up with so much joy. And I suddenly felt that was my mission. And I would love to do that, to make a documentary about the healing I went through after 3 months and all the people's healing, and share it with the world. So I wrote to David about the dream, and David said, oh, come, you will have a team to make a movie. So that's my second spirit is like, okay, go, just to make a movie. But I never came back ever since.
Yeah, it's so beautiful and so gentle.
Yes.
It's so important to really remember that, because when we think about like this life commitment, the ego could be like, whoa, this is too huge, but it's good to remember that it's step by step, and it's very gentle and so lovely.
It's very gentle, and it's exactly what I can handle at any given time. And it was through inspiration. It's never through sacrifice. Spirit never said once to me, you better do more than this. You need to stay longer. You need to be more committed. I don't think it will go well with me. You know, I feel I need so much encouragement. I need to feel loved, and I need to feel there's a joy in this path. It's not gonna be like I have been good students. I don't want to be like, you know, just do gooder anymore, you know.
I know. Yeah, it's so important. Like this that you said, like it is through inspiration. Like no, never through sacrifice. Wow, we do need to remember this, because sometimes, like, yeah, it feels like this journey really, it is a journey of sacrifice, but it's not true. Like, really, we can, yeah, we are invited to expand through this inspiration. Yeah, it's good to remember this.
It's absolutely amazing, because the second time I came to the monastery, I was given this huge inspirational project, which I wasn't ready. The monastery didn't have the tech, but that's what I was inspired to do. So I came for a whole 6 months, doing a very baby step of setting up, but it was so inspirational. And then 6 months later, I need to leave the country again. You know, so where do I go? My project hardly ever started. And then immediately, like maybe a month or two before I had to leave, there is a house in this beautiful island in Canada, Vancouver Island, showed up and saying, we want to donate this house for a Living Miracle community house, and we need someone to lead. And I just finished 3 and 6 months in the monastery. And so I was sent there. And living in this amazing, beautiful island to lead a house of devoted people for 6 months. And then after that, I started to travel with David to China, to different places. It was like the Spirit has the most amazing plan. There was not a single moment that I felt, oh my God, this is not a life I want to live. It's always like, I can't believe this, you know?
Yeah, and I love that story of you two, that you had plans to like make money and have success in the world to be able to travel.
Yes.
But maybe you can share this, because I think it's like many people could resonate, because it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, like when I was working pretty hard before I got the course, I was having such a strong, like a workaholic, so work very, very long hours and earn a lot of money. And I thought, you know, to be honest, I don't really know what I really want to do in the end. And if anything, I just want to travel and just relax and travel and feel free and just to different parts of the world and meet lovely people. That's really, but it takes so much money to do that. So I thought that's something I can see myself work towards. Maybe at a certain point I can retire, or I can retire a little early, then have all the money. But what happened was, the moment I stopped, I let go of my career, my business completely, because I really felt it doesn't serve me, and I want to give my life to practicing forgiveness. And then basically just within a year of after I came to the monastery, I started to travel back to China, to Australia, to Europe, to England, to every single place, even to Africa, like with David and some other messengers of peace, and meet the most sincere, devoted friends who also want awakening. And I didn't stop traveling for 10 years, every year. And then at some point, I suddenly realized, oh my God, that plan of mine was so small. It was so small. It's almost like Spirit is saying, if you give your life to me, I'm going to fulfill all your whims, and I'm going to inspire you so much and use you to serve the greater plan. So
yeah, he is an example that it's not a journey of sacrifice at all. Like, I mean, he knows our heart, and yeah, if we can only give our life to him, he would like, oh my God. Yeah.
It does feel like, it feels like, oh my God, moment every day, you know, it's in the last 14 years.
Yeah. Yeah. It's beautiful. And what about the unwinding part, Francis? Maybe we can talk a little bit about it, because even it is like a journey of inspiration, like he is like standing us, but it is still like from each self-concept to another, so it's like a deep unwinding. And how was it for you to really unwind from this business self-concept, like this wife self-concept, or even like I don't know, like this deep unwinding that you needed to face it? Like, how was it for you?
Yeah, I would say, you know, at the beginning phase, I was so repressed. My emotion was pretty repressed, and I wasn't used to be very open and sharing how I feel. So that was definitely like an opening, and there was a lot of emotions for me just to be able to share what I feel, and to be able to speak up, and to be able to talk to people very candidly, honestly. there's just a lot of emotions there. So I do notice that there was kind of a different way for me. It was just like so much wanting to come out, so much emotion wants to come out, and I need to allow it without trying to control it, without trying to judge it, just like letting myself just be taken, with that. And also with the self-concept, the main thing with the self-concept was that, the business self-concept and a wife self-concept is always like we're trying to find a way to feel loved and to feel secure. And we somehow feel there is a way in the world that can offer that, and I just need to achieve that to do really well in order to get that. So the spirit's way is basically saying you deserve to be loved and you deserve to feel secure. This is not anything wrong to want to feel that. And if anything, it's actually exactly what you should be feeling. But the way you think you can get there is not going to get you what you think you're going to get. So I think it's definitely letting go. But for me, I feel the spirit did it instead of myself, because when I came to the monastery, all I really did is just to be willing to say yes. When I first arrived, I was actually not liking some of I was kind of in judgment all the time, and I didn't even know how much judgments I had. I was judging, this person, I don't like this person, I don't like this way, and I don't like the project, and I don't like that the fact I'm following. There's a leader there. Like, why do they get to be the leader to tell me? And I'm such a successful woman. I feel like this is belittling to me. All of that would come up. But I remember I was also given this role to clean the kitchen. And you've been there in the kitchen. You know how big that kitchen is. So I never cleaned anything in my life, a cleaner. And so when I came to clean that whole kitchen, I didn't even know how to do it. So I feel like I do it, and then my overseer would come and say, she wouldn't say you did anything different, she just wrong. She just say, okay, you do more of this and more of this. And I feel so attacked all the time because I can never do a better job. And also because we had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, three meals a day. So when I spend 2 hours cleaning after a meal, then the next meal preparation comes in, wipe out everything I clean. So I felt like this is an impossible job for me to do it. And I have so much anger building up. So I just was like really angry all the time. And then I talked to a friend. He was a little bit before me. He arrived like a year before me. So I was like talking to him. I said, I'm angry about everything. I'm angry that I have to follow. I'm angry. I feel this is, I'm better than this. I feel angry that someone watched over my shoulder. I'm angry about everything. And he said, how do you feel? I said, I actually feel so bad because I actually developed pain in my body. I feel angry and I feel pain. I feel not well. And he said, why don't you tomorrow morning, like in a meeting, why don't you just say yes? Just really say yes. And I thought, I never really said yes. I always in my mind like, no, I don't like this. So I thought, what do I have to lose? So the next morning, we have this morning meeting, and the overseer was there to say, this is the schedule of the day. Before she even started, I said, yes, no matter what you say is a yes to me, unconditional. So that was a turning point for me, because that day I cleaned the kitchen, and then I just cleaned with so much joy, because I wasn't really in a rush to clean it. I took all the little bottle from all the deep closet out, and I wiped every single little thing. I was just singing, and I don't even care whether it's cleaned, or I was just in so much joy. And then the overseer came, and she didn't even walk in. She just popped her head into the door and said, "Oh my God, the Spirit is here today." And then the next day, someone else arrived in the monastery and wants to do the kitchen, and I was taken out of the kitchen. And I was never in a cleaning job again. That's how I knew there was a lesson for me, and I learned it. And the Spirit said, okay, on to the next lesson.
So beautiful. Yeah, I live the same here. Exactly the same. So yeah, so beautiful. Yeah, and it's about to full acceptance, like the means that are given, like we don't really know why and what is for. So wow, thank you.
Yeah, it's such like, that was like pride, about what I want, and a follower means something. And then very soon I was put on a leader, like months after that, very soon. And I was terrified. And I was fighting the Spirit every day, saying I don't want to be a leader because I want to be a follower, because all this unworthiness will rise up. Like, who do you think you are? You can't speak. So it was just like you said, this is the way undoing of the self-concept, because Spirit give you a new self-concept, and you don't know what it's really about, but to say yes is the way out. Then he will give you another self-concept, but all of that is to undo all the self-concept that you think you are who you are, or is just keep opening it up.
Yeah. Wow, so beautiful. Yeah, I'm so grateful for us being sharing this now, to really keep in my mind. It feels good, like, oh, this is the way. This is really the way. Beautiful. Yeah, when I prayed about our interview, what came to my mind was the topic about consistency. Like, two things actually came to my mind. One is consistency, and the other one is clarity. Because when I think of you, I remember those things. You're like a reflection of this for me. So yeah, maybe you can open your heart and share a little bit. How do you feel about these two topics? Like, yeah, I would love to hear more from you about it.
Yeah, when I think of consistency, I really think, the Spirit is the consistent one, because the Spirit always provide us with the guidance, like, okay, this is the new role I'm going to give you, and this is a new project I'm going to give you. But underneath it is always a place for us to find a deeper love and certainty with the Spirit. So it's the consistency is always there with the Spirit, but for us, like if we're not really connected with the Spirit, there is no consistency. You can see the mind can go all over the place. Today it's inspired or happy, tomorrow it's down, and the next day is inspired, the next day is uninspired. It's bored. It's like almost like always there is no consistency here. But I think that's what I recognize. That's how my mind was like. before this path, I was very easily bored. I always want to change things so that I keep myself inspired, entertained. So I feel like with the course, and especially the practical applications, to find the consistency is actually meaning to really be able to commit ourselves to say yes to the Spirit's guidance and whatever comes our way. And also I do feel we have the power to actually do that. You know, we're not really at the mercy of the world or the situation. I do remember at one point when I came to the monastery, we had like a very strong project at the time because the monastery was at the beginning phase. We need a lot of physical work. And then after 6 days, we have a Sunday church service. And then Monday, we start another big phase of physical project, pretty demanding. And I felt one time like a Sunday afternoon, because Sunday is like an off day, you don't need to do anything, just go to the church service and then rest. And one Sunday afternoon, I just feel like this fear coming up, oh, tomorrow is Monday. I'm going to have to work again tomorrow. And when that feeling came to me, I just remember this is how I felt when I was working a lot. I dread Monday coming, you know, during the weekends. So I remember at the time I caught myself, I said, no, this is not a feeling I can give myself permission to hear, because this is too precious for me, you know, to be here to live a different way and to really find a different way of living and healing. I cannot be lazy and let myself just slip into this, oh, I'm bored and I'm going to wait for Friday to come or Saturday to come. I can't live like that anymore. And I remember it was just a thought to myself, like, no, this is not what I come here for. No, I can't afford to feel this way anymore. And that was probably the first month when I came here, and I can tell you I never felt that again for the last 14 years, because that gave me a feeling like I have the power to choose how I feel. I can basically give myself permission just to be negative, or I can catch myself to say, hey, this is a different way and you can do that. So this is also like in terms of commitment, I feel consistency. I can feel I get the consistency from just keep saying yes to the Spirit, but also the consistency in myself grow as when I find this power within in my mind.
Wow. Yeah, and saying yes to the Spirit, it is saying yes to these temptations of the ego, or maybe you want to feel this, or like this. No, like be really firm, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you. Yeah, otherwise we get trapped in this victim world, which is like, I am victim of this or that, and we will experience like these oscillations that you experience. Sometimes you are up, sometimes you are down, because of this deep belief in this victim. And yeah, wow, thank you. It's good to remember.
I think that's ultimately, you know, because we're not really on this pathway to learn that we are depending on an external force. But in the end, the understanding is always that this strength is inside. and we can access that strength and that clarity that is of the Spirit is actually inside. It's inside each one of us, and that consistency and commitment is all inside. So I think for me, it was just, I have so many opportunities to either, you can go down to a very familiar place to complain and feel like a victim, or like, oh, I don't want to do that. Like, I just know what I want and this is not what I want. Or really go deep inside. Can I trust that Spirit has me? Or this is all a mistake. This is either one or the other. If the Spirit really has me, can I really find within that I'm going to trust this with all I have? And I'm not going to play this victim card. And I feel it's so, so rewarding, because what I found is that all this is inside. All this power is inside. And we can choose how we feel.
Yes, we can. Beautiful. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, and I'm feeling to open this moment for you to share whatever is in your heart, whatever you feel that, you feel important to extend here. Feels good to open.
Yeah, I just want to say that I know for a fact, like just looking at my path of how I was guided, from, the first voice that came to me, basically saying, just wait. And then until I met David and I decided to leave. And that was when I checked in to say, is this what I was waiting for? And I got a yes answer. It's like every single thing was so orchestrated. And I didn't miss one single step. And I feel like if I didn't miss one single step, not like I was mind trained in any way, then nobody will miss one single step. And I feel like we sometimes give ourselves too much pressure. We have to do the right thing. We have to do this. But being on this path for this long, I feel, the Spirit is doing it. How is that I haven't missed anything? It's because the Spirit is really there, obvious. When it comes, it knows how to reach me. It reached me through a dream. It reached me through, okay, this is what you want, isn't it? Like, oh my God.
I didn't knew that. I didn't know that. He was like, oh.
Exactly. So it's like, it was so obvious. And it's not because I know ahead of time this is how the path is gonna play out. If anything, I have no idea how the path is gonna play out, and I still have no idea what the next 10 years or next month is even gonna look like. But I just feel if anything, I feel so confident that the Spirit has us and the Spirit is prompting us so obviously. But we do need to be patient sometimes. It's not like every day you're going to be sent to this huge mission. Sometimes you need to have a little break and integrate everything, and then wait till this inspiration and motivation to rise up again, and boom, you'll be sent to the next one. But it feels like you keep being prompted, and it feels very comforting. Just feels very comforting.
Wow, this was actually an answer to my prayer today, because it feels beautiful how Spirit orchestrates everything, and sometimes we are just like too worried about the next steps, and we don't know. We just need to trust that he is guiding, and he will, as you said, he will. I can't miss this step, like I can't.
No, I was thinking, how the fact that we're even being able to be here today, it was because you came to our Take Me Home gathering. We went to Sao Paulo, and then you went there, and then we said we have a retreat coming up the next weekend, and you said, what? I flew over here. I don't even have my clothes, but I want to go. And then suddenly there's one spot opened up, and the host, I think, supported you to go, or paid for. Yeah, because it's all paid for. All the retreat is all paid for. And then from there, we had a deep talk, and you said, okay, I want to go to the monastery. And I look at you, it's exactly how it happened. You would never see the other steps, but you took the first step, and in the first step, during the first step, the second one is given.
Yeah,
the second one.
I do remember the feeling, like this first one was so strong, because as I said, like I didn't have clothes, and then I felt really strong. I have to be there, and suddenly everything was arranged, and even there, like I was feeling this prompt to talk to David as you, like as one-on-one. I wanted to, wow. I felt there was an answer to my prayer, because deep down I was asking for this. I think I was studying the course like alone. I had the groups, but I felt stuck, and I had this doubt, like, can we really live this, like in this world? Like I wasn't like doubting if it was possible to go like really deep in this metaphysics. And a few days later, Gabriel found David. He shared with me, and I saw you were be there in São Paulo. But even during the retreat, I was feeling prompt to talk to him. I heard, like, go to the kitchen, and I went to the kitchen. I think it was you, David, and Svava. I don't remember. Like, it feels like the meeting was arranged. I just arrived, and there it was looking like you were like waiting for me. I was like, okay, everything's arranged.
It felt like that. Even before that, I know you said in the first gathering you heard about this retreat, and you said, oh, I really want to come. And you said, I don't have any money, and I don't have any clothes, and also the retreat is full. But then as we finished the gathering, as we were walking downstairs to leave the venue, we heard one person canceled. And then the host said, oh, of course you can come without money, because everybody is paid for. That is a retreat that he pays for absolutely everybody and everything, because it's his birthday retreat. And it's in a beautiful resort, and everything is paid for. He said, oh, perfect, because this is the spot for you. You just come. And then when you arrive there, the first thing I remember is that you came to the kitchen, and we just said, oh, Polinia is here. Polinia, and you said, I would really want to go deeper and go to the monastery. And we're like, oh, we feel the same way. That feels perfect.
Yeah.
But it was so orchestrated, one step at a time.
Yeah. So good to remember this. Like, no effort at all and no sacrifice.
Exactly.
Mm. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Francis. Yeah, it feels amazing. I love talking to you. And I was feeling that maybe our friends would like to hear more from you. So I think I'm gonna share in the link, the link from your podcast, Out of the Blue. I love it. And I don't know if you want to share something else, like how they can find. I know you have a YouTube channel too. I'll share the link here.
YouTube channel. I think that's pretty good. YouTube channel and the link.
Yeah.
Podcast. Yeah.
Okay, and soon we'll be having the Take Me Home movie too available in Portuguese. We had this online retreat, I think was a few years ago, and we are working on it's a deep project here for healing. But as soon as we release, we're gonna share the link here too for you.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Francis.
Oh, thank you, Paulinia. It's beautiful to talk with you.
And thank you for being here with us. Bye.